What's going on, everybody? It's Rod with the POW Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Wednesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. And in this video, we're going to dive into Chainlink. We're going to take a look at the chart. We'll take a look at the technicals, what to expect in terms of price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. But spoiler alert, could we potentially be seeing $40 in the cards, USD? The charts are pointing to it. We'll discuss all of that and more here in just a moment. Before we do, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. You should never, ever, ever buy or sell anything based on anything that I say, will say, or have said, or anything that I write as well. And also, full disclosure, I do own Chainlink. I'm very, very bullish on Link long term. And one of my top 5 biggest holdings, actually, I haven't done a top 5 holdings in a long time, an update on that as well. So I've done prior videos similar to that where I talk about my crypto portfolio. If you haven't seen those, you can check it out. But not much has changed, but a couple I think have changed from the last update. So I'll have to do another update for 2024 at some point soon. Also, you can give us a follow over on X, which is formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward, and it's the best way for me to get real-time updates out of the community. So on the channel, we do focus primarily on MJ stocks, but secondly, we focus on crypto and blockchain, digital assets, crypto assets, whatever you want to call it. And at the moment, Link is one of my top picks for 2024. It's actually one of my top picks in general for the long term, but right now, it's definitely one of the more strong technically speaking. So if we take a look at the monthly time frame here, we are in a monthly uptrend. We have our low, high, we had a brief higher low here, and then another higher low and higher high. So it's nice that we're forming that monthly support on the way up. We also had a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well, which is the first time in history. So we had a bear cross with the 12 period above the 26 period when the shorter term's above the longer term and they cross. That is bearish. So we had a bear cross, price confirmed a monthly downtrend as well with a lower high and lower low. So the time to get out was there at a break of $13, right? Once we lost $13, that confirmed the monthly downtrend. Then we had the monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, even from the low there at 13 all the way to the local bottom. That was still another 62% of downside from there. Whereas now we're confirming monthly uptrends and seeing the first time ever a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So, and we do have a monthly bull flag as well. So if you just go from the low to the high here, extrapolate that out and get your measured move here. If you go from the low to the high and then move it out to the 0.382 fib there, you can see here that we held that to perfection at the 0.382 fib at 1281. We got as low as 1253, but essentially around 40% of a pullback off of the high is what you want to see. You don't want to pull back past that 40% of the move, right? If you see a move to the upside, you don't want to pull back any more than roughly about 40%, or else that negates the odds of a bullish continuation pattern and bull flag. On the downside, it's the opposite. It's just a bear flag, right? And you can do that by just going here and inverting the scale. You can see here we have the high, low, lower high, and lower low. And you can see here it got above its 0.382 fib, but not by much. And it was still in bear flag territory. So it's the opposite whenever it's inverted, right? But at the moment, it's great to see that bulls are happy because it's usually the case when price is going up, right? Most people, you can short and you can make money on the way down, but most people are accustomed to just buy only, right? And it's much more fun when the price is going up. But we do have a monthly bull flag that confirmed. So once we held the 0.382 fib there, we had a nice lower wick showing nice bulls buying up the dip and nice buy pressure there as well. And then key resistance was the high of the bounce there at 1767. Once we broke 1767, that confirmed the monthly bull flag. And our measured move is telling us we could be seeing $46 here in the cards. And then in terms of price action, we have no nearby monthly resistance until 38. So I think $40 is very possible here over the next couple of months, as I think we're approaching alt season. I think we're going to see one more final blow off top moment on Bitcoin. We're going to see one final euphoric, type of scenario. Whether or not we hit all-time highs, that's another question. I think we potentially could get to around 75, 80K and then pull back. A lot of people are saying, lots of experts are predicting 100K, 200K. I don't think that's the most likely scenario. I would welcome it, but I think the most likely scenario is that we get to around 75, 80K. We see a pretty, a bull trap, a pretty big blow off top at that point. Once it consolidates, we should start to see altcoin dominance start to recover. And then that's when I think we're going to see full-fledged alt season into the spring. And then in terms of monthly resistance after 38, we have nothing until 52. So I think $40 is realistic. And then if we just zoom out here and we go from the high of the bull market to the low of this bear market, you can see that our fib extension levels, these are levels that we target in a new bull market. So when we have no nearby resistance, right? Whether it be from moving averages, exponential moving averages, whether it be from just sheer price action. When we don't have any price discovery in these ranges, that's when the fib tools can come in handy, because they give you a new potential target based on something that hasn't happened before. So if you go from the high to the low of the bear market, you can use these fib extension levels to give you an idea of where it might go. And generally in a new bull market into price discovery, these fib extension levels are very accurate. So if we go to Bitcoin, for example, and go from its high to the low, and we'll use a different chart here. Let's go to a different exchange. So you can see here from the high to the low of the bear market, it almost hit its 4.236. So it hit its 3.618 and actually then some. It actually extended it. And then Ethereum did a similar move as well. So if we just bring up the Ethereum chart here, from the high to the low of the bear market, you can see it actually hit its 3.618 pretty much to perfection. So if Link were to do something similar, this new bull market after this bear market just concluded, then we should potentially expect $177 Chainlink. The 2.618 would bring us to $129 Chainlink, and then the 1.618 would bring us to $82. So I think, 177 is a bit of a stretch. I don't think there's enough time in this bull market. We have the Bitcoin halving coming up in April as well. So I think Bitcoin could maintain its bullish momentum leading into, the end of March, the end of April. And then after that, I think is when we're going to see full-blown alt season. So I don't know if we have that much runway left, though, for Chainlink to see $177. Anything's possible. I mean, XRP back in the day went from like half a penny all the way up to $4 in like record time, right? It was just like in a matter of months, like it was a couple of months, and the majority of the move came in 1 month, right? So it's not completely outlandish. Like, anything is possible, and I've seen crazier things happen, but I want to be more on the conservative side at this point. And I think, after the run that Chainlink also had, coming down from 16 cents up to $52, that was a massive move, right? Almost $53. This is on Coinbase, but I think realistically, the 1.618 and the 2.618 is a nice area to target. Maybe 100 psychological. Maybe we get above 100, and look at Solana. There's a lot to like about Chainlink in terms of fundamentals, but Solana, the chain keeps going down, right? Like, the network keeps going down. It just went down a couple of weeks ago. So things. There's a lot of coins out there. There's a lot of projects. A lot to like about different types of projects, but I think Chainlink is unique, has a nice use case. I think it's there's not very many other projects that are similar to it, and I think it's going to be something similar where we're going to see somewhere around that upper threshold of around $100. I don't think I think ultimately $1,000 will be possible at some point, but I think that'll be next bull market. I'll gladly welcome it, but I have my profit taking area, right? I have my take profit levels. I'll probably take some profit around $40, another around $60, another around 80, and another around 100. But I pretty much plan to be all out around 100 on Chainlink, and I've been doing most of my buying right around that $5 to $8 area. So I've got an average of probably around $7. And then, like I said, I think the 2.618 is very doable, but the 1.618 is where I'm going to be targeting, anywhere from that 80 to 100 level, and 100 psychological going to be a very strong resistance level as well. But like I said, Solana got over 100. Not very many people thought it was going to do that. And what was it at? Like $8, and then in about a year, it went to like 120 something, right? So anything can happen, and it can happen a lot quicker than you think. So for comparison, Chainlink would just have to go from its low there at around $4 or $5 to $100. I think it's very doable, right? Solana just did it, and in my opinion, I think Chainlink is going to be worth way more in the long term. But not to favor any one project or any one token or anything like that. I just want to give you some examples of coins that have done it in the past, right? And if we just bring up the Sol chart, you can see here that in a matter of how many months was it? 14 months, we are now up from the low there at $8. It was $8 exactly. We are now up 15x, right? Pretty much 15x. So that's $1,000 into $15,000, right? For every $1,000 you invested, in about 14, 15 months later, that's now worth $14,000 or $15,000, right? So anything's possible. And I think Link is going to be a huge beneficiary of the next bull market. Well, this current bull market that I believe that we're still in. And like I said, this monthly bull flag taking us to around $46. I think $40 is very possible here in the very short to medium term. And then we should consolidate maybe back to around $25, $30. And then I think we see that final price discovery and blow off top moment where we could potentially target these fib extension levels there around the 1.618 and the 2.618. But like I said, I'm going to be looking at 60, 80, and $100, and I'll pretty much be all out of my link position at that point. But going to end it there, just wrapping up, we're blasting off. There's nothing really nearby in terms of moving averages. You can see we're above all of the weekly moving averages. We're above all of the daily moving averages. We had a golden cross. So there's no moving averages to be looking at the moment for resistance that I normally track. But one thing to note here is the 50 weekly is potentially set to cross the 200 weekly. And when that happens, it is extremely bullish. If we just take a look at Ethereum, when it did it, it was at around, price was at around $600, and then it went to about 5,000. So here was the cross. Yeah, price was at around $600, and then it went to 5,000, right? When the shorter term is below the longer term, in this case, the 50 weekly and the 200 weekly, and they cross, that's very bullish. And because it's on the weekly, it's even more bullish because it takes longer for those to play out, right? And then if Link were to do something similar, again, price is going to cross around, by the time these cross, price could be at around 30 or 40 bucks. And then, you know, that $150 to $200 threshold doesn't seem too crazy when Ethereum saw its price at around $600 whenever those moving averages crossed and then went to 5,000. So yeah, I think crazier things have happened. But like I said, if I miss, you know, if I sell most of my Link around $100, I'm not going to be, you know, stressing over it. If it goes to $200 or $300 after that, that's all fine and good with me, right? But at the moment, nothing to hate about this chart. It's looking fantastic. Monthly uptrend, monthly bull flag targeting around $46. I think $40 is a nice area to target here in the short to medium term over the next couple of months. And then, you know, maybe 3-6 months from now, I think we could be testing that $100 threshold. And you're going to see this with coins and projects. You're going to see one kind of take the spotlight. We're going to see some run. You know, Solana had a big move. I think once it starts to consolidate, it's already been showing signs of weakness. Once it continues its consolidation pattern, its healthy correction, we're going to see other coins start to pop off, right? And it's usually, you know, the utility coins that I think are going to usually run last. And in this bull market, in this next alt season, I think utilities are going to win the day. I think utility tokens are going to win the day ultimately, you know, in the long term. But I think we're on a new path. I think we're pretty much, you know, it's a new day in crypto, and I think that is going to be utility driven. And that's your, you know, your Chainlinks, your algos, your HBARs, your XRPs, your XLMs of the world, right? So coins that are actually solving real world use cases. And we're talking trillions of dollars worth of use cases and problems that they're solving. So going into there, it's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. If you agree with me, if you think that $100 to $150 is completely out of the question, I always love hearing people and, you know, discuss their price targets and their thoughts and opinions. Obviously, when I give these price targets, it's not me just pulling a number out of a hat or, you know, out of my you-know-what. I'm looking at the technicals and looking at different, you know, measured moves and bullish continuation patterns that can give us the best, you know, kind of probability that we can potentially come up with, right? We don't know for sure. We don't have a crystal ball, but if, you know, 8 out of 10 indicators are saying this price and we're going higher, then I'm going to be bullish. If 8 out of 10 indicators that I like to track that are bearish and say we're going down in this price, then I'm going to track that, right? So it is what it is, and it's looking really, really good for Chainlink at the moment. All right, going in it there. Hope you have a fantastic evening. We'll see you again on the next video.